Hello, my name is Gloria and I'm the owner of Gloria Shito. Today I'm going to show you how to make Spaghetti Bolognese. This was a recipe I loved when we lived in Ghana, and I called it Spaghetti Bolognese for the longest time, and no one corrected me until we moved to Scotland, and come to find out it's actually called Spaghetti Bolognese. Let me show you how to make it. First thing I need to make is the sauce. For this, I'm gonna cut up 6 medium-sized tomatoes. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just kind of cut it up in pieces so you can stick it in the blender so it blends easier. All right, this looks good. So I'm gonna add this to the blender. I'm gonna add my onions to this. You want to remove the stem from the habanero. Now the garlic is gonna go in here. Cover this up and crank it up. Perfect. This is done. I'm just gonna let it sit so I can start with my oil. Make sure it's coated. I'm gonna add my diced onions in here. You're gonna let it brown a little bit so it's softened. You wanna cook this on about medium to high heat. This recipe is so special to me because this was different. It was the first time I was exposed to an international cuisine outside the typical Ghanaian cuisine. So for me, this brings like joy and excitement, learning about different cultures and different cuisine from what I knew growing up. My onions look great. I'm just gonna add in the tomato paste now. You're gonna mix this in, and you're gonna cook it for about 30 more seconds. This is a recipe that I learned from my cousin, Margaret and Vivian. Margaret was an airline hostess and she traveled a lot outside Ghana. So I'm thinking this is something she picked up on one of her trips. This looks good, so I'm gonna add in my minced garlic, my diced dried onions, rosemary, and black pepper. I'm gonna let this cook for about 30 seconds. And what we're doing here is flavoring the oil, so when you eat this, you can get all the flavors in every bite. This is about ready to go. It smells delicious. I'm just gonna add in my blended ingredients and we're just gonna let it cook. Mix this in. My sauce is looking great. Now I'm just going to be adding the corned beef. Corned beef is what we used in Ghana. It was economically affordable and we did not have minced meat in Ghana. I'm just gonna be adding my corned beef. You're gonna break it in pieces. All right, so we have all the corned beef in here, so we're just gonna break it up and mince it. And I'm gonna just do this with the spatula, just breaking it up. We're gonna let this continue to cook on medium heat. And the more the corned beef cooks, it softens up and it's easier to break in here. I'm adding in here my salt. My last ingredient for the sauce is green onions. And this is just for garnishing. Everything looks great. I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes while I go and boil my pasta. My pasta is done. I've tossed it with a little olive oil so it prevents it from sticking. And now the moment I've been waiting for, let's check on the sauce. It's divine. I'm just gonna add my sauce on top of my pasta. And I love to put a heavy amount on here so it's all coated. And then for finishing touches, I'm just gonna garnish it with more spring onions. Look at that. We're ready to dig in. This is so good. It tastes just like how I remember it. The corned beef just works perfectly in this recipe. This tastes so great and it brings back so many memories from my childhood. I hope you give this recipe a try, and if you do, tag me and use the hashtag #MyJikoni. Time to eat. Bye-bye.